Good morning and welcome to the second video today from TA for Traders. It's Monday the 27th of February. In this video we're going to look at the 5 major European indices, the CAC, the DAX, the MIB and the EURSTOXX 50. What you'll see is that we're now becoming cautious on all these indices, and if anything on the MIB, the MIB 30 index in Italy, we are turning bearish and expect further downside. Thank you. So let's continue and let's start with the FTSE 100. As you can see, we're having this rolling pattern which has been ongoing now for just over a week. What we're seeing is it's quite narrow candlesticks each day. We did have a bigger move on Friday to the downside, and then it bounced up from the moving average, which was a positive sign, but it doesn't break this continuation of the rolling picture. And this is also confirmed, showing starting to see an increase in downside momentum from the RSI, which, although still above 50, so still showing positive, has rolled and has shown these continual patterns of lower highs. So problems coming there from the RSI. Also the MACD, we've had a move down in the quicker indicator below the longer, which is usually a sign that the market is rolling over. As I already mentioned, that there is support at the 20 and 50 day moving average, which should hold in the short term, but it is a rolling picture. On the weekly chart, you can see that we've actually had this picture of lower highs starting to appear, from the high in early January to the high that we've had in mid-February being lower, and that was confirmed in the RSI as well. Here the RSI is still positive again, but just a slight warning sign from this picture of the lower highs, and again the MACD rolling over. On the support resistance levels to watch, where we've rolled from the 73.21 and 73.58, they are now resistance levels, and the support comes in at 71.38.4 and 70.89.4, and you can see these levels on the daily charts. They are, the supports are coming in at that level there where we had the good move up from, and the level there, so the supports are around this level there. Also, that's below the moving averages. The moving averages will give support as well, so you would expect this support to hold, but you would expect it to be tested. Moving on to the DAX. Now here we did have a false breakup last week. The picture did start to look a lot more positive with the break, but there's just been no follow through, and it's now coming back to test the supports, the initial support at the 20 day moving average, which is at 11.742, market at the moment 11.820. Again, the RSI has dipped down, still above 50, but showing a break in the upside momentum, and the MACD as well have converged and are showing that the upside momentum is declining. You could draw an uptrend through these levels from December, and we're still in that uptrend. But really, we're going to be testing the lower boundary of that uptrend, it looks like. On the weekly, you can see the trend more clearly defined, and really you would expect a pullback to the lower boundary around this level, the 11.620 level. here again the RSI has actually shown a non-confirmation, in that the high that we had last week in the index wasn't confirmed with a high in the RSI, which only got up to 68.5 on last week's move, whereas previously it had got up to about 70 on the move at the end of January. So a non-confirmation there, and likewise the MACD rolling over on this longer term picture. Just going back to the daily, and I will now show you the support resistance levels. So we've got the supports coming in 11465.8, 11426.9. You can just freeze if you want to look at those. If you want to look at those figures more clearly. On the CAC, I mean, obviously this market's not performed as well as the other markets, given the upcoming election in April. It's now come back to the supports earlier than the other markets, testing the 50-day and slightly below the. No, we're at the 20-day. 20 days 48.47, market 45.3. 20-day has moved below the 50-day, which is at 48.54.7. So those moving averages are starting to roll over. The RSI, as you can see, has actually gone below 50, 48.47. So not a very pretty picture there, and again the MACD rolling over. So it looks like we're going to come back and test the supports, which are seen around about the 47.40 level. On the longer term picture, you can see this rolling pattern. They support longer term supports. A lot of work was done on the markets through 2016. Big supports all the way down, but starting below just at the 4600 level. So if the supports don't hold at this level, one would expect them to hold at that level, where we're getting the 50-week and the 200-week moving average coming in. The RSI picture again showing a pickup in downside momentum, and that's confirmed by the MACD. On the support resistance levels, initial supports at 47.46.8 and 47.33.9. Moving on to the MIB. Now this index is the one where I do expect more downside than in the other markets. The market actually peaked in early January. We then had a move up to that resistance, and it just faltered, and we're getting this pattern of lower highs coming in. We've got the 20-day moving average moving down reasonably strongly and giving resistance on the upside. We've got the 50-day moving average rolling over, and the RSI now definitely showing negative momentum down below the 50 at 43.95. MACD starting to roll down as well. It looks like it's going to break this support. Let's look where the supports are. So we have the support at 18424.31, 18238.44, and really you would expect those supports to be broken. The supports are seen here and here, and I just see them being tested. On the longer term, on the weekly, you can see that the market failed to hold above the 200-week moving average, and will get immediate support from the 20-week coming in. RSI here again slightly negative, 55.18, but certainly in a downtrend, and the MACD are rolling over. On the EURSTOXX, again a bit like the DAX, did look reasonably, started to look slightly more positive at the end of last week, middle of last week, but then faltered, coming back to support at the 20-day and the 50-day, which still moving up, although the 20-day is virtually going sideways. RSI 52.68, and the MACD is in a neutral pattern. It looks like this market's probably going to range trade. You can see the range being set up from the highs 33.50 down to the lows 32.25, and you would expect it to maybe meander in this trading range for some time. You can see this on the weekly. It could be a flag in a bull trend, but will continue further. And here you can see that the faltering RSI failed to go to a new high, and even though we moved up last week, that's slight negative. And again, you'd expect the you would expect the market to come back and test the supports. The support levels are seen at 32.30.5 and 32.18.6. So thank you for watching this second video from TA for Traders, and please do come back. There'll be another video on the Asian markets being loaded in about an hour. And thank you for watching. Please do read the disclaimer that's coming up on your screen.